Hello, everybody. Hello. I hope everybody's doing well today. I hope you're doing well. I have a hat on because I have hat hair. My hair is everywhere. Was at the pool yesterday, and so I didn't get the chance to take a shower because I drove straight home. Feeling a little sick today, a little under the weather. As you can hear, my throat is very froggy. This means that it's very hoarse, sound very hoarse. But otherwise, I'm good. I'm just probably going to relax after this and just rest. It's Sunday here, so no one works on Sunday, so we get to relax a little bit. But yeah, I'm good. So, obviously, today is Sunday, so I'm going to do an idiom today. And so, my idiom that I'm going to do today is 2 peas in a pod. So, 2 peas in a pod. So, if you know peas, they're the vegetable, the little green vegetable. They're like long, they're almost shaped like a little banana, but they're green and they have peas inside, little peas. And so the phrase is 2 peas in a pod, 2 peas in a pod. And this means that, let's say, someone gets along really well. Right when you meet them, you have similar characteristics, you really like each other, you're like best friends. Well, you would say about those people, the 2 friends that are getting along, you'd say they're 2 peas in a pod. They're very similar, their characteristics are very similar, they act the same, they get along very well. So I will say this whenever I introduce 2 friends and they like each other a lot. So 2 peas, P-E-E, like pea, like the vegetable, or P-E-A, I don't know, I said P-E-E. 2 peas in a pod. Might have spelled P-E-E when I did the video. That's my fault. I'll change that. But I meant P-E-A, so like peas, the vegetable. As you can tell, I'm sick, so I can't spell even. But 2 peas in a pod. So you'll say this when people are getting along. 2 peas in a pod, they're getting along well, they like each other. And you'll say, oh, those 2 are 2 peas in a pod. And this means that they're very close, they get along well. Obviously, the peas inside of the pod, the green part, sit together. I'm sorry if you have a poor connection, but 2 peas in a pod. So 2, the number 2, peas, P-E-A, a pea, peas in a pod. And the pod is the part that the peas sit in, the green part that a pea... Actually, I might have a pea in the fridge. I can show you. It would be helpful. Let me go look. We usually have peas. Walk with me. Go check to see if I have an example. Excuse me, Oliver. Oh, I'm going to trip. Going to the fridge, going to the fridge. Gotta look in here. You guys can look with me. We have lots of food in the fridge. Do I have peas? Doesn't look like I have peas. I thought I did, but I don't have any. But you understand, 2 peas in a pod just means you get along really well, that you are close, that you are very similar. So if you say that 2 people are 2 peas in a pod, they're very good friends, they're almost the same, they're very similar, they have similar characteristics. So if you understand, does everybody understand that? I'm going to run back to my chair. Oh. Okay, awesome. Everybody understands 2 peas in a pod. That's good. It's not very hard to understand. It's kind of a goofy idiom. Has anybody else heard this? Are there similar phrases in your country? Wait a little bit. Cool, I'm getting a lot of yeses. Everybody understands. That was an easy one. Has everyone heard this phrase? I wanted to do one more because it's similar. 2 birds of a feather flock together. 2 birds of a feather flock together. Has everybody heard this? 2 birds of a feather flock together. Wait a little bit for everybody to comment. Okay, so some people haven't heard this phrase. 2 birds of a feather flock together. And what this means, so to flock, they go together. To flock means to move together. to travel together in a group. So birds do this. When it gets cold, they fly south. They fly south to warmer weather so that they don't die or get sick, and so there's more food. So they flock together. But what two birds of a feather flock together means is that people who are similar, people with similar characteristics, spend time with each other. They hang out with each other. They do things with each other. So they use this a lot. I use this a lot in college or in high school with cliques. Cliques are like groups that like to hang out that are very similar. So there's the jocks, which are the athletes. There are the academics, which are the really smart students. There are the theater students who like art and are very artsy. There are the band students who like to talk about music and band. So this is two birds of a feather flock together. So you'd say this about the athletes. They like to hang out with each other. They like to spend time with each other because they have similar characteristics. You'd say this about the band students who like to play music. Two birds of a feather flock together. They enjoy hanging out with each other, spending time with each other, because they like the same things. So two birds of a feather flock together. This means that people who have a lot in common like to spend time with each other. They enjoy spending time with each other. So if someone's talking to me about, Rick really likes hanging out with Bob because Bob and Rick play sports, I would say to him, well, two birds of a feather flock together. And that means that they like to spend time with each other because they like the same thing. So two birds, like flap their wings, caw, caw, caw. Two birds of a feather, the feathers are the feathers on their body, flock together. And two birds of a feather, that means they have similar feathers, they look the same. So birds that are similar fly with each other. So people that are similar also spend time with each other. So two birds of a feather flock together. So these are two common phrases in the United States. So, like I said, peas in a pod, and this is when people are similar and like to hang out with each other, and they just met and they enjoy being around each other. You say they're two peas in a pod, they're very, very similar. And then two birds of a feather flock together. It's close, but it means that people that are the same spend time with each other. They like to hang out with each other. They like to do things together. So these are two common phrases, two very common phrases in the English language. So it's two birds of a feather, like a feather on a bird, flock, together. They flock, they move together. So it's a k sound on the end, flock, together. Yes, feather, F-E-A-T-H-E-R, and flock, F-L-O-C-K. It'd probably be easier if I spell them. So feather, F-E-A-T-H-E-R, and flock is F-L-O-C-K. So does that help? Are these useful idioms that you've never heard? I hope you have never heard these, and these are kind of funny and interesting. Thank you for the hearts. I love the hearts. I'm seeing lots of hearts. I'm thinking of a name right now for my team. My group of heart, like AJ has the Heart Brigade. So I want to create a team as well for hearts, but I'm trying to think of a good name. And I'm having trouble. I'm thinking. I'll come up with something good. I'll let you know tomorrow or the next day what I want my team to be. Rawr. We can compete. So, I'll take questions now. I can take a couple. I'm a little tired today, so I'm going to go rest. But I can take a couple questions before I get off the phone, and then I will be back on tomorrow and hopefully feeling better. And yes, that's perfect. Someone just wrote two birds of a feather flock together. That looks right. That's correct. So give me your questions. Questions. Yes, I do need to take a rest after driving for a long time. Relaxing would be good. 5 hours of driving made me very tired. there's lots of construction, lots of work being done on the roads. So it was very slow, too. It was very slow. I was stagnant for a long time in traffic. And last night we were up somewhat late, not super late, but we were up until about midnight or 1 in the morning. What's the meaning of flock? To flock means to move together. To flock means to move to another place together. You're flocking together. You're moving together to another place. No, I slept on a couch. I didn't sleep in my car. I slept on a couch. Do I spend each weekend at my parents' house? That's one of the questions. No, I do not. Usually when I'm at school, I spend about 2 months away from home, and then I come back and visit, and then I go back to school again. So I spend most of my year at school. I spend most of my time at school. And then I was asked, will I be doing another essay? Yes, I am actually writing it today, and then I'm going to record it tonight, and then I will edit it and put it on YouTube tomorrow. Okay, so how do you improve your idioms? Are you saying how do you learn new idioms or practice idioms? So if you want to practice idioms, you just have to use them. You have to use them. You have to listen to the lessons. You have to listen to them over and over again to understand how to use them. But if you want new ones and you aren't happy with the amount you know already, just go to Google, look online, and search idioms and read definitions about them as well. So read idioms. You can just Google English idioms, and then it will come up, and then you can read about them and kind of try to practice with them. And you can ask me if you're using it correctly, too. I will be happy to tell you if you're using it correctly or not. Is it cold here? No, it's not cold here. I just have a jacket on because I'm not feeling well. So give me website or books. I can look up some websites that give idioms and post it to Twitter. Oh, awesome. Someone commented, AJ is already in the most loved list on Periscope. That's great. I love to hear that. And I just got a comment. I just bought 101 American Idioms, a book on idioms. That's awesome. I didn't know that book was out. But I will look up some books and some websites and post them on Twitter for that. I'm going to upload some videos tonight so you can watch some new videos on the YouTube page. I will repost the YouTube page to Twitter, so it's easy to just click and go to the YouTube page. And I will do those things tonight. I have a lot of work to do tonight because this weekend was so busy with work at school. And then I was asked, how often do I see my girlfriend? In the summertime, not that much. I have to wait. I didn't see her for a month, so 30 days this last time. But I will see her again soon. At school, I see her every day. So give me your YouTube page. So all you have to do is go